Welcome to Visa Verge News, your go-to source for the latest insights on immigration developments. I'm Sarah, and today we're diving into a complex and controversial topic: federal agents covering ring security cameras during ICE raids in Denver. Joining me, as always, is Michael.
Thanks, Sarah. This story has really raised a lot of eyebrows. On February 8, 2025, ICE agents reportedly covered a homeowner's ring camera during a raid. The footage has caused an uproar, with civil rights advocates calling it a potential violation of constitutional rights.
Right. The focus is on whether this action infringes on Fourth Amendment protections, which safeguard individuals from unreasonable searches and seizures. Michael, what's stood out most to you about this incident?
What strikes me is the deliberate nature of it. The footage shows agents actively covering the camera before proceeding with the operation. Critics argue this goes beyond reasonable enforcement tactics and veers into interfering with homeowners' property rights and their ability to document law enforcement actions.
Exactly, and it's not just legal concerns. There's also an ethical question here. By obstructing a private security device, are agents undermining public trust in immigration enforcement? Advocacy groups are saying these tactics create fear and mistrust, especially within immigrant communities.
That's a really important point. These communities rely on transparency to feel secure, and when actions like this happen, it risks chilling their willingness to engage with law enforcement altogether. Some are even calling for Congress to step in and protect private surveillance devices during these operations.
What's clear is the growing tension between law enforcement practices and technological advancements like ring cameras. These devices are more than just security tools. They're also a way for homeowners to hold public officials accountable. By covering them, ICE agents remove that layer of transparency.
And speaking of transparency, ICE has not yet clarified whether this is part of their standard operating procedure or an individual decision made on the ground. That lack of clarity only fuels the debate further.
Right. It puts the spotlight on policy gaps. Should there be stricter rules for how agents handle surveillance devices during operations? And if so, who is responsible for setting those guidelines? Federal agencies or legislative bodies?
Those are critical questions, and the controversy here might lead to meaningful changes, whether through new policies or court rulings. But until then, incidents like this will keep spurring debates about the fine line between security and civil liberties.
It's definitely an issue to watch closely. For now, though, one thing is certain. This Denver incident has amplified the conversation about immigration enforcement and accountability in a powerful way.
Absolutely. And for our listeners, you can count on Visa Verge News to keep you informed as this story develops.
Thanks for joining us today for this important discussion. And as always, for more immigration updates, visit us at visaverge.com. See you next time. See you next time.